how are these people? How are they flipped later on?
Yeah.
I mean, how does, I can't remember what Pelosi's worth, but we'll just bring her up for example. I mean, isn't she worth like $200 million or something?
I've heard that.
You know,
I've heard that too,
how
yeah.
is this money getting funneled into these people? And and another thing, I mean, we just met in DC, had dinner, had a talk. A lot of people that I think I respected, I think you respect them as well. You know, they're folding. And how is this happening? Are they getting paid off? Is it pressure from the establishment? I mean, people that we both know are making lots of money as a congressman. And how is this happening?
So I think there's a couple different things. My perspective is there's a couple ways you can play this, right? Like anything you go into. I think a lot of people go into this job with good intentions. I really believe that. Now, I'm sure there's a handful, a bucket of narcissists that just want power, you know. I think a bunch of people go into it with good intentions, but their strategy is, well, if I want to make a difference, I have to be on the team. And if I want to make a difference, I have to get on that committee, right? Because you have all these different committees that have oversight and jurisdiction on these areas, like, energy and commerce, natural resources, judiciary, intelligence, foreign affairs, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So depending on your district and what you want to do and where you want to go, a lot of people say, well, I got to get on this committee. And I just told you, I've already been denied. I've already been told that, hey, you're not getting on that committee because of who you are and, what you're about. So that's part of it. And then, if you take that a step further, you'll actually hear members, and everybody knows it. It's like, well, if I really want to make a difference, then not only do I need to be on that committee, but I need to work my way up to where I'm the chairman of that committee, or I'm the chairman of a subcommittee, right? And it's got its own hierarchy, right? Within, it's not just the Speaker of the House. I mean, there's a hierarchy within, and I think a lot of people with good intentions go there and say, if I want to make a difference, I've got to play the game enough to where I get seniority to where I can actually dictate how things work, what we focus our time on, what's allowed, what's not allowed, who I want on my team, et cetera, et cetera. And so the problem is that often it takes multiple terms to get to that point. Mm-hmm. And my opinion is by the time a lot of these people finally achieve that goal, they're comfortable and they don't want to rock the boat. They want to keep doing what they're doing. And I think that a lot of times we're all good at justifying, right, to ourselves and just, it's, justifying away some of the dumb things we do or the dumb things that we say. And I think that's a part of it as well. So
who controls the committees? Would it be Speaker of the House, McCarthy?
Well, the party leadership control, has a good amount of control over that.
So
they're outside of just, the Speaker of the House is the head guy. And then you have multiple people, underneath that, and you have your committee chairs, and like I said, it's a hierarchy. And what you'll find is a lot of the people that actually I would say mainstream Americans see as champions in the House, the chances of you ever getting to a level of hierarchy or leadership are pretty slim to none, because you didn't play ball, you didn't play the game. And so I think that, expectation management is important. And so I went in with the expectation that I'd never I'd never be in leadership. I'll never be liked up there, and that's okay, man. I didn't go up there to be, and I told you that on the first one. I didn't go up there to be liked, but I do want to try to be a part of saving this country.
Yeah.
And there's no, in my opinion, maybe, and I think that there's members that are way better at it than I am. That are just, they're good at, building those relationships, hustling around, knowing what everybody's doing, and then even taking stands on stuff. I'm not going to sit here and say like I'm, great at anything. But I know that there are members that I would say are doing a better job than I am of, putting themselves in a position to influence and have more authority or leadership, prospect, opportunity down the road, but still holding the line. So if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does. I mean, with the actually, what about blackmail? Is there a lot of blackmail going on? I mean, there's all these traps that they could set.
Yeah.
They could, and some people are going to call me a conspiracy theory. I don't really give a shit.
I'm sure there is.
I mean, prostitution,
Yeah, I'm sure there is,
underage
man.
women. A lot of people think Epstein was a blackmail guy.
Yeah.
And a very effective one, obviously.
Yeah.
But have you heard or seen any of that stuff going on within Congress as well?
I personally haven't, but would I be surprised? Not at all.